What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Supper on a Can. We're still at Valdoro in the Trongate, and I'm joined by this week's very special guest, the biggest announcement of 2024, the reunion of Defended. I'm joined with Scott and David. Welcome to the show. Now, without further ado, let's get a munch.
Just ride with it, like, go and get live with it, but niggas don't like
You salt and sauce, since you're from Perth?
Do you know what? I would have like this, and brown sauce.
Nah.
And on a serious
there's no brown sauce going anywhere near this
mate,
chicken.
I love a bit of brown
That's
sauce.
too far.
But
Oh, you salt and vinegar then?
I'm a salt and vinegar guy. I love chippy vinegar. Yeah, so I mean this is Scott's order, and we'd normally get a smoked sausage, sometimes a chicken. I like a chicken supper.
See, mate, every time we get new orders that I've never heard of before. A chicken
It's
supper?
like a half a chicken.
KFC?
No, like just fried half a chicken and then chips. Get some gravy on it. Scott's a vegetarian, so we're having the pizza crunch.
yeah.
I'm starving by the way.
Of course. Go for it.
3 years. I was basically like the story goes, right? There was in Perth where I'm from, there was a cow that escaped from the slaughterhouse, and it was bombing down the Dunkeld Road.
Wait, was this not like...
It was went viral and
Island
stuff.
cow?
No? No, I think it was just like just a normal
Bog standard
one.
black and
Aye,
white?
bog aye. And
The
it
default
ended up like there was a boy with his headphones on, right? He was walking down the street. This cow just runs up behind him, and the police are like beeping their horns to try and warn him. But like the cow's obviously getting more enraged, and it just like basically mounts the boy's back, takes him out, and then it like runs over to the grass. It's escaped. And then like there was a video of it, and they put it down, they shot it. I remember watching it just thinking like, nah, I can't do this anymore. So my rule of thumb is if I can kill it, I could kill a fish, and I could eat it. I could choke a chicken. Yeah. Well, I've been practicing for my entire life for that. But in real life, no, I probably could. I do sometimes eat fish.
I thought it was because you got a dog.
That was another one.
Another factor for
I
it.
was patting its head one day, and I just thought, could I eat you? Yeah. The answer was no. So
I respect it.
I no longer eat dog.
Would you all? They tell us what happened in 2006, apart from this beautiful face being born. What was formed after college?
We actually started at college, so 2006, Scott and I unknowingly enrolled in the same college course. I was from Cumbernauld, he's from Perth. It was an NQ, I think, in rock music or something like that. At college, formed a band. Can't really remember how we became pals.
I think see on the first day of this college, there was like do you know Kyle Faulkner from The View? He was in our class as well. He was in that year. Aye, that band. They're from Dundee. Like, they're really good. Like they.
I've heard the name.
Aye,
I've had the same jeans on for 4 days now. He's younger than
I know. It's just
That, to be fair, it's really annoying.
you'll definitely have heard it.
The funny thing is, what would you call your genre of music that you do?
I'd say like indie
Indie?
rock kind of thing.
Because I would say that indie music is probably one of the only genres I don't. Not like I don't dislike it, but I would never like if I was sitting in a room, I'd never really stick it on.
Yeah.
Like, I never really.
It's had a demise. Like
I think it's
basically
an
after
age
we
thing.
split up, it just fell off the planet. So,
See at the time, like, cause now I listen to like the Beatles, Pink Floyd. I don't listen to as much indie music as I used to. But at the time, 2006, the mid to late 2000s, like all of the big bands was like the Libertines and the Cooks. There was and the indie scene was massive at the time.
yeah, Arctic Monkeys. as
Arctic
well,
Monkeys had just came out, I think 2006 roughly. We were obviously listening to that music, and we started a band and we started writing songs, but we were sort of into like sort of punk as well, like Green Day and Blink-182. It was when I was 18. That's the bands I was listening to, and
That's what I was going to say. To be fair, like what kind of music were you listening to back then? Was it the same as now, or things changed?
Definitely
Vastly
changed.
different.
Oh, really?
I started. I was heavy into heavy metal.
Ah.
So I listened to Pantera, Slipknot, Slayer.
I know they are. I've heard the Slipknot before.
Aye, well, that was my vibe. Davey, on the first day of college, he came in and we had to say like what we're listening to, and it was full of metalheads, really. Like that's what it was. And Davey came in and he was like, I like the Beatles, I like dance music, I like TS. I was like, man, this guy's class. Like he's actually got the guts to kind of just say, he was totally different, so I quite liked that.
Is that so? That
I
back
said
then,
that-
is that what would be classed as like a different kind of
That
music
was
then?
like a different genre,
Right.
especially in that setting, because it was all guitar based, heavy metal kind of guys.
These guys looked like they were an Iron Maiden. Like,
Yeah.
and as soon as I said I liked Tiesto, everyone immediately disliked me. Plus I was from Glasgow, and they were all like, "Oh, there's a Ouija in the class." But Scott was one of the ones who was pure. This guy's pretty sound.
Yeah, you introduced me to that kind of music as well, so it opened my. I think like one of the first times we became friends, I used to do this thing. I would like sit on a seat, I'd put my legs on my head and like scoot about on my arse. Sounds really stupid, right? But the punters loved it. I would like scoot about on the floor on my arse, and folk would find it funny. I remember like one of the first times we interacted, it's like had a bottle of juice and like basically a full bottle of Coke, right? And it all happened in slow motion. I seen him opening it, and I had like my legs on my head, like scooting about, having a laugh, like thinking I was Archie, and he just went whole bottle of Coke like right up the ass and crotch of these fingers. So honestly, I didn't have a car or anything, so I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to walk home, and it looked like a shat my pants. Yeah, because it was like brown stains all over these things. And I remember thinking like, we're going to be good friends like after that.
That was
Did history?
yeah.
It's similar sense of humour.
I've spent basically the last 20 years just trying to find ways to annoy him. We formed a band right about that time. Indie music was really popular. We wrote songs like that we liked. Like, it's not like we were trying to just fit into something. So
What motivated you to write the songs?
I think back then more so it was let's sit down and try and write a rock song and try and write something that's going to have like a big hook. Like the song that got found, Man on a Hill.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he knows it. It's a good song, he knows his music. Which hit 250,000 streams last night, actually.
amazing.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
But when would you have originally made that song? Like, what would the date be? Would it be 2008?
I
or
think that was
prior?
maybe 26, 27
Yeah.
maybe. We were in Scott's mum's and dad's house in his bedroom. And I was kind of, there was a Scottish band at the time called the Fratellis.
I've heard of them.
And they had a song called Chelsea Dagger. They went yeah, you know that one. And doing that kind of thing was really popular at the time. So I had this idea to have like this. And I was kind of playing around with that in Scott's bedroom, and Scott was like, "It's really good." And we sat and we just sort of fleshed that song out, and I don't know, maybe like half an hour. Like, and then the only person we could let hear it was Scott's mum, so we shouted his mum in to come in and listen to it. We were like 18, we were like, "Listen to this song that we wrote." I think it was maybe like our first like proper collaboration as well that we wrote together. And now, since we got back together, like we've probably written between sort of 10 and 15 songs, and you know, we're in our 30s now. A bit more life experiences, a few heartbreaks, hell of a lot of substances, parties and stuff, and you've got a lot more to sort of write about when you're older. So our songs now tend to be a lot more personal and stuff like that. And we've got songs actually about, you know, second chances and stuff, because we got a second chance to come back, and
Not many
you know,
people do.
yeah, and that's it. And you know, Scott and I have written together. Back then, we write together now. All of our songs, we write together, we collaborate. But we've lived very different lives. Like Scott's got a partner. He's been with how long? Have you been with Nicole?
10 years now.
10 years. Like, you know,
Shout it all.
they've lived together and, you know, had this kind of relatively, I'd say, peaceful life. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you know, I went travelling and moved to Australia, and you know, came back and was going to raves and doing a lot of different stuff, and you know, we've had really different lives, and that kind of shows when we write songs together. Like Scott brings, you know, these sort of sometimes love songs or, you know, emotional songs about, you know, some characters that he writes about, and I've got sort of sometimes darker lyrics or, you know, more personal songs about, like, you know, relationships that I've had and people that I've split up with and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been fun. It's just fun just creating stuff. You know, like your setup here is awesome, man. Like just making videos, doing
It's sick.
It's great.
I feel like just doing something that you're passionate about actually makes you happy.
Yeah.
100%.
And I feel like that's what they say, like, you might not be rich, but I'd rather feel rich than feel poor and be rich. Like,
Definitely.
and that's why I try and say, that's what I've tried to do with this, like, you want to turn, the best job you can have is something that you love, so you want to turn something you're passionate about into a job,
Totally.
which is, I feel like, more people are kind of maybe trying to do that now. It's less of like the go to school, do this, do that, do that. People are more accepting of it's okay not to get this. Like for me, I've got fuck all in school. Like I listen to S4 and It wasn't.
Was that
I did
two
expect
years
one.
ago?
Yeah, which is mad. But to me, that's doesn't feel it to you. That feels like 4 or 5 years ago. I'm gonna link in the description. There's a video talking about it. The boys are gonna explain it a wee bit, but
Shout out Khali.
shout out Khali. In the description, 7 minutes of your time after this. Brilliant video. Go and give it a watch. But to shorten it, it's a mental story. I don't even know where you begin.
Yeah.
But I say you could start with you just performed a song.
Yeah, so we so like years 2000 and I think it was roughly 2008, 2009 we performed a song in a place called Box in Glasgow. One of my mates filmed it, he uploaded it to YouTube and it got 100 views and it sat there for
16
the
years.
remainder of time. Back in February I got an email just from, I can't remember where the guy was from, but he was somewhere in the States. Basically said, "Hi Scott, were you in the Defended? Just so you know, there's like a large online movement following this song and we think we've just found it today." So I was like, what? I messaged
They got Scott's email address from an archived MySpace page because
Yeah.
back then there was no Facebook. Maybe it was very early Facebook, but it was everything was
Bebo.
MySpace, Bebo, and you can
Wild,
go on.
man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Good knowledge.
You can go on our MySpace page. The link to our website is a Bebo link. That's how old we are. We used to have our email addresses on there. One of them I've not had access to for years, but the other one Scott still had access to it. So luckily, like because we wouldn't have known otherwise. I mean, maybe we would have come across it eventually, but like they found his email address, like
The fact-
hotmail.com.
Do you think though, like, I would say, yeah, I'd say I'm chronically online, I think that's what you'd call it. Do you think if yous were like, because of the way algorithm works and if you had posted your videos with the hashtag defending blah blah, do you think yous would have found it earlier? Because that's all I could think about, is if you guys were
I
like
think so.
actively
'Cause
using
the
TikTok,
funny thing is,
yous would have went
Yeah,
viral.
that's true. That's
That's
very
all I was
true.
thinking
We
about,
may-
is that if you
may have
posted that
found it.
clip, if you posted that, obviously you never know, but if you posted that clip
Yeah.
or a wee story about it,
So that video, the guy that put up the video from Box had 100 views, right? Davey looked at that video like say 2 weeks before. 2 weeks
Genuinely?
before it was found and it still had 100 views. Then basically that day, the guy Scott who had put the video up had phoned my missus. He was like, "By the way, like I'm getting hundreds of like messages, emails and that for folk asking like where this was taken." So he was like, "Have you got Scott's like my number basically?" So I got in touch and we checked that day. It had like overnight 10,000 views, and then that started going
TikTok
kind
it
of
blew
viral
as well.
Yeah, TikTok was the big one. That was the
TikTok
one I
was
saw and
massive.
thought, man, this is actually kind of blowing
Because
up.
originally I was off all social media, so was Scott. Like,
that's so mad, man.
and
The worst time ever.
so maybe we wouldn't have found it. So, but although now and again, I would sort of just search the Defended because I don't know why I done it, but when we split up in 2010, roughly 2010, 2011, things weren't going well. We wrote some good songs and we kind of sat back and thought we'll get a record deal. We were touring and we'd done some really good gigs in
Glasgow, Liverpool,
Yeah.
Dundee.
Yeah, played in the Cavern in Liverpool, which was dream material stuff. And we thought like we've wrote these songs, we've played these gigs, we'll get a record deal. Someone will just do it for us and it'll happen. And eventually it didn't happen. We got older, we were in our 20s, people got full-time jobs and girlfriends and it was harder to rehearse. And then when the band split up, I took everything off the internet. I took all the songs down. I think, ironically, that led to the being lost, because if I just left it all up there, then the person who was looking for it originally would have just typed the lyrics in, or it would just been on Spotify, it would have been there. But I took everything off
Big Arthur for
offline.
Ukraine.
Aye.
Shout him out.
Arthur Bogashev, good man. We have him on Instagram. He's a
Please,
friend. Aye.
you've got to get that plaque, surely. A frame of it. Anyone heard this tune?
It's class, man. Eh? That's
So-
an
so
idea for
so,
a
man.
t-shirt. actually.
It's brilliant.
musicbanter.com or something.
Yeah.
And I must have missed one website. There's a website called Indie Music People, and I swear on, I don't have any kids, but my nephew's life, like I can't remember even uploading to that website, and it's like the song was on there. So once they got the name of the song from Scott's video, then they got the name of the band, and then they tracked us down from there. Scott and I spoke to each other like at that time, and we were like, right, let's be realistic about this. Like, we've effectively had a viral video, right? So what do we do with this? Like, do we try and milk this song? Let's re-record it, or let's
Did you?
keep pushing it. No.
That's when you released
That's
it?
the original.
Really?
Yeah, that's the original recording, which
I
is
thought you did, I can't lie.
a demo that we recorded in Paul's Halls in Cumbernauld, where we used to rehearse, and we put that up really just to put our songs on MySpace.
Right guys, welcome back to Gio's Onion Challenge. Now, we've got Scott on. He's backing himself to do 5. Now, if we think back to last week, Mr. Hawaii backed himself to do 8. Didn't even get 2. But Scott is going for the 5.
That was embarrassing.
We've got the moral support behind him, because David shat it. So, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and we're off. So it's a good technique from Scott. He's got the boss watch on show, while also showing that pretty face of his. We've got 50 seconds to go, Scott. Already on the second. I did forget to say the rules are, it needs to be fully tuned before you open another one. You can't put more than one in your mouth.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It's a good technique you've got here. Some serious tune going on if you can't hear it. Woo. Wow. You're backing yourself here.
What time we went?
We've got 27 seconds on the clock.
Scott, you're more
Do you
than halfway
normally just
there,
sit and eat pickled onions, Scott?
On occasion.
It's usually
It's a hobby for you.
It's usually
Here we go.
pickled dog.
We've got 15 seconds to go. Oh, and he's done it. So, right now, if you swallow that, you're currently standing with Blair. You've got 10 seconds on the clock to get it swallowed.
8.
There's 7 down. 6, 5, 4. You can done it. 3, 2. Scott, I'm gonna need to see the insides of your mouth.
And elsewhere.
Nah, that's wrong.
Drop a back at
That was
Scott.
easy.
I'm proud of you.
I didn't mind that.
Well done, Scott.
That was good.
In fact, Drop, we'll give him 4.5 since we didn't give you the rules beforehand.
Thank
So
you
you're
very much.
you're currently leading. Now, what are you going to say to next week's opponent? Let them know.
Slow and steady, wins the race, block out the haters, eat them like potatoes.
Round of applause for Scott, everybody. Come
Well
on.
done, Chambo.
Do you still not have any idea how it went from the demo to some Ukrainian radio?
No idea. No idea.
That's still not
Yeah,
been
that's not been.
Do you think
He
he's
doesn't
well?
know.
Try and
like,
find out.
Arthur doesn't
Arthur
know.
doesn't know.
He reckons that he heard it, right? And he heard on the radio and then clipped it onto like a MP3 player or something like
So
that. Or a
he's-
mini disc it was.
Yeah. If you go
like
down the rabbit hole, there's some more information that's not in the video. The videos are probably Khali's video is probably the best source for what happened. But Arthur heard the song on the radio, recorded it, put it on his computer, and he had it on an old MP3 player, and he was going to throw it away. But he went, "I'm going to go through this and listen." And he went through and listened to some of the songs, and he had this snippet of "Man on a Hill," which online became "There's the Man." That's what they called it.
Yeah.
There's the Man, and he said, "This is a good song. Like, who done this? Like, what?" And he put it up online, and that was like, that was like
hash for a while.
2013. So that was 11 years, and then it just got kind of ignored. But then a website called What's That Song, or What's That Song, I think it's called, became kind of more popular, and there was a really famous case.
Shazam would have got his covers.
If it's if it had been on Spotify like Shazam would have just got it straight away, Apple Music, So me taking all the stuff offline, ironically, was what led to us, being known. It's strange to say like we've got fans after
All these years.
nearly 20 years ago that we formed, but we no one in Scotland really knows who the fuck we are. So we thought like this is our people, this is our home, So let's try and in Perth and Scotland, and we were in the Courier in Perth, done an article about us, and all these young ones these days are doing like podcasts and they're doing this stuff, and I was just like Glasgow podcast, and yours came up, and I was like,
What, you just looked it up?
I went on YouTube, Google, and I was typing in Glasgow podcast, radio shows and stuff like that, and you came up really early. I think it was your Karen Dunbar interview came up, and I was watching it, and I fucking love Hot Ones, and I love Chicken Shop Date.
That's what it is. That's what me and my brother say.
And I was like,
Someone did comment that as well, and it pissed me off because that is literally what I tried to do.
and then like so Scottish, can I remember a chippy sitting there being yourself, and I was like, that's a fucking great format for a show, and I was like, fuck it, man, I'm going to message that guy and see if he gets back to me, and thankfully he did, so it's been good to meet you, mate.
Definitely. But what have you got then? Coming soon. Maybe the end of the year.
Well, so Scott and I got together at the time when the song got found, and we said like, what do we do with this? Do we milk the viral thing? We didn't want to do that. We thought this is a second chance. Like, we'll never get a chance as big as this again to to have another go at it. So we started writing songs again, and we put out a song called Back for More, and it took us like 6 months to get our act together. You know, the two other guys that were in the band originally, their drummer lives in Dubai. You know, he works in oil and gas out there, and
My papa still plays the drums if you're looking for something.
we actually
I wish I was joking, he's actually back it. He's fucking dynamite with the drums.
And we're also looking for actors as well, because we have we started our own little production company. We're doing our own music videos. We filmed all that ourselves, just with like iPhones and gimbals, and it done like 20,000 views in a month. It done like 10,000 in the first month on YouTube.
That is hard.
Right now we're just focused on writing songs, and videos.
Yeah,
What do you reckon?
just keep 'em busy. Like we kind of said when we got back together, it's got to be fun. Like we want it to be fun. We want it to have integrity. We want to be proud of the stuff that we're putting out. And as long as we're doing those two things, as long as it's fun and like we've got integrity, then we'll just keep on going.
Well guys, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks very much.
What's the app? Where have they to go and find your music, your Instagram, Scott Selksy selfies? Where are they?
Well,
I mean, he's losing weight. We're at the Defended Official pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
YouTube is probably our biggest platform. Instagram at the Defended Official. You'll find our link tree on there. Links to our music. Go give it a stream, pop up, say hello. We're quite active. We like to chat to people and reply to comments and have a conversation. And yeah, at the Defended Official, give us a follow.
yeah. Right. And if you all want to see sexy photos of me, it's fatsame at onlyfans.com.
See you next week.
Just ride with it, like, go and get live with it. Niggas don't like me cause I'm nice with it. And the girl gets hyped to it, neck deep in when I